Alright everybody, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel and here to another video. Okay, so today I'm at a gas pump. I'm filling up with some E85, but I'm at a pump that I've never been to before. I don't know the quality of it. And I mentioned in the last video I did that I purchased a tester kit to test some E85 if you're not quite sure on the consistency of it and how good the quality of it is. So I'm here, I'm going to test out this E85, and if it's good enough, which I'm hoping it is, because it's literally just a few miles down the road from my house, which would be a lot more convenient than driving down to the place we went to before, which is about a half-hour drive. Once we do that, then we're going to do a data log. I got to do a third gear watt pole log for Palm Beach, get that done, and then I wanted to talk to you guys about the pros and cons of running E85. If it's something you've considered and you're on the fence about it, if you want to, I want to just talk to you about the things that I've learned in my past experience with it, and if it's something that you should consider. So the good and the bad that comes with swapping over to with E85. Okay, so to test the E85 when you're using this kit inside this little plastic case, as I said before, there's a fill line right there. I don't know if you can see that line. You fill that up with water, and then you fill up to the top of this, the E85, shake it up, have it sit for about 5 or so, and then it'll let you know what the consistency of it is. The consistency, like the grade of the E85. If this stuff isn't good, I'm not going to put it in my car. I don't know. I haven't heard anything in regards to good, bad, in regards to this place right here. So if it doesn't test good, then I'm not going to fill my tank. I'm going to go to a place that I know that tests good consistently on a regular basis. But I got these solo cups, so I don't have a funnel, so I'm going to just use a solo cup. I'm going to pour some E85 in one of these cups, and then very gently, hopefully not overspill, and fill to the top of this and see what we got. Okay, so it was hard to do this with the camera, so I just, I turned off the camera and I filled it up. So I let it sit for a bit, and you can see the line. That's the fill line right there, if you can see that clearly, and from the E85 up. So this station that I'm at, it's a Circle K, which I was kind of iffy about it in the first place. So you're sitting about right what does it say, about E75? Okay, so I mean, it's not terrible, but it's not the best. The stuff I have in my car now is like between E85 and E90. So I'm gonna wait. I'm not gonna put this in my tank right now. I'm gonna do the rest of my video, and then I'll probably go down to the place I went to before and top off with the stuff I had before. But I just wanted to share with you guys that this is how you test, and it's pretty accurate, and it's always good to know before you put the E85 in your tank. Okay, so the other part of today's video is, like I said, I need to do a data log, a third gear watt pole, and send that off to Palm Beach. So this is the RTD. This is really simple to use. You just simply plug this into the OBD2 port, turn on the Bluetooth, make sure the Bluetooth on your phone is on also as well. They sync together. You open up the app on your phone, and you simply hit data log, and you hit start, and then when your data log is done, you hit stop. I'll show you that whole process here in a second, but it's super easy to use, and it's much easier than having to use a laptop and all that kind of stuff like just even a few years back. So it's much easier, a lot quicker to use also as well. All right, so you just plug that in, and as soon as you plug it in, you see that green light, and then you hit the Bluetooth button. You hold that down until that starts blinking. Might just take a few seconds right there. All right, so it flashes blue. That's what you're looking for to get the Bluetooth on. All right, and then you just open up your app, see if you can see that right there, and all you got to do is you hit data log right there, and when you're set to data log, sorry about the reflection there, all you do is hit start. So I'm going to go down to a space of road, do a third gear watt pole, hit start, and go from there. All right, so hopefully we only have to do this one time. If I break loose or something happens, then I'll just make a second log. Not a big issue, but hopefully we can bang it out here on the first try. All right, so that felt good on that pole. I think everything turned out good. So all you do now is you hit sync files, Sorry, I'm doing this and driving at the same time, not smart. Hit upload. And then you go back to see it right here. There's a new file, that's what you just did. And all files are synced. Hit sync files. Wait for that to be complete, and it's synced. And then you just contact Palm Beach or Lund, whoever your tuner is, and let them know that the tune is available for them to view. And if they need to make any tweaks or adjustments, they'll send you a new file or tell you what you got is good to go. And looks like we're good. So I will send that off to Palm Beach. All right, so if you have a Mustang, specifically in my situation, S550, and this is why I canceled my S650 order, is because as of now, you can't obviously tune those. You can tune S550, S197, and any other car for that matter. So I was wanting to go E85. I wanted to have a 93 tune, an E85 tune, and I also was wanting to have the opportunity and the ability, once I add either supercharger, turbo, nitrous, have a 93 option with that, and an E85 option. Now, if you're considering doing E85, there's a lot of things that you need to think about and consider before you decide to purchase a tune for E85. Pros and cons. The great thing about running E85 is it runs a lot cooler. It allows you to run more timing, so your tuner, whoever that tuner is, whether it's Palm Beach, Lund, or any other, with E85 you can run a substantial amount more timing, which means you can run a lot more boost without running into any like detonation issues or anything catastrophic when you run E85 versus 93. Another thing, it burns a lot cleaner. It's a lot cheaper than 93. E85 here in my area, you're looking at right between 230 to 250 gallon. 93 here in my area of Texas, you're looking at right around 330 to 340 ish for 93. Still not that bad, but E85 usually is significantly cheaper than 93. Another awesome thing about E85 is there's no need to run race gas. If you like to go to the track, drag strip, the octane equivalent to E85, I think, is somewhere between 100 to 105 octane. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I know it's over 100. So you're getting high quality race gas at the pump, opposed to having legit race gas, where obviously that's not at most. I say most pumps. It's a lot harder to come by. With 85, at least in my area, they're at quite a few gas stations. It's not all of them, obviously. It's just a lot more accessible opposed to having a tune on race gas. All right, so now I want to talk about some of the cons of converting to E85. And obviously there's no particular order, but it's the cost of converting a car from 93 to E85. You got to factor in the cost of the tune. Obviously, you get a 93 tune, you get an E85 tune, a tuning device, and then on top of that, if you don't have a Gen 3 Coyote, you have a Gen 2, Gen 1, or an older Mustang. I'm talking specifically in regards to Mustangs because they respond very well to E85, but obviously Camaros, Corvettes obviously apply also as well, but I'm not speaking of those. You got to think about the cost of purchasing larger injectors, fuel pump, possible return style fuel system. All of these things jump up the cost. You know, you're looking at costs of injectors that can be anywhere from $300 to $1,500, depending on what your goals are and how larger of an injector you decide to go to. Like I said, return style fuel system, fuel pump, boost the pump. But when you have a Gen 3 like myself, and you're still NA, you don't need any of that. So that is a pro when you have a tune of a 93 tune and an E85 tune. You don't need any of that. All you need is a tune. I purchased a tune from Palm Beach. I paid an additional $100 to get an E85 tune, slapped it on. Obviously, as you saw, I just did my data log, and Palm Beach take a look at that and let me know if I need to make any tweaks. And that's it. Now, once I go supercharger, turbo, twin turbo, nitrous, at the very least, I need to up my injectors and probably do a boosted pump. There's no need at that point to do a return style fuel system. If you stay, it depends what your goals are. Now me, I'm not looking to do anything between 800 to 1,000 horsepower. I'm not looking for anything crazy as of yet. Obviously, your goals change over time. But if you're looking around that 700 to 800 wheel on E85, from how I understand how these cars operate, it's a learning process with me because I've only had this car for about 7 months, but just a larger injector, a boost to pump, and a good tune. And when you slap on a supercharger, procharger, nitrous, turbo, unless you have higher goals, that's all you need. Another thing to consider is E85 is not as accessible and at every pump like 93. You have to hunt down what area gas stations in your area have 93, and as you saw at the start of this, what areas have good quality E85. That one was E75, not terrible, but I know there's better areas like what I have in my car. Test between E85 and E90. It's not as accessible, and you burn and you go through much more gas with E85. E85 requires about 30 to 35% more, so it burns 30 to 35% more versus straight up pump gas or just 93 in general. So your gas mileage is going to take a little bit of a dip. But in my opinion, the overall power that you get with E85, it runs cleaner, it runs smoother, it feels like it's more efficient. It runs the way the car should. But as I said, it's not as accessible, and you just got to find the pumps that the E85 is at, and keep in mind your gas mileage will definitely decrease. Another thing, con, is if you have to drive an excessive amount of distance to get E85 or a good quality E85, you might want to consider if it's something you want to do. Now obviously I have a lot more pumps around me. I know there's closer pumps in the station I'm going to now, but that's the only one as of now that I know that's a good quality, and it's about a half-hour drive. So if you got to drive half-hour or further to get just any E85 gas station in general, you might want to consider if it's worth something you want to do. Either way, it's always good to have a full tank. When you fill up the tank, get your 5-gallon gas jugs. I got 4 of them at home. How I do it, I fill the tank and then I fill the gas jugs, so then I have extra at my home, so I don't got to go to the gas station as often, because with E85 you definitely are going to go to the gas station much more often. You know, and you're obviously going to have to test the E85 too. Like I said, some places test even lower than what that place across the street tested at E75-ish. Some places test around E70. So there's not all E85 is created equal. Why some gas stations allow crappy E85, I don't know. It's beyond me. But if it's good, you're looking at E80 to E90. In my opinion, man, it's the best gas you could put in your car, regardless of gas mileage. We don't run E85 and drive these cars for gas mileage. We use it for what it does and can do for your car. It's safer, it allows you to run more boost, more timing. It's an insurance policy against detonation. Another thing to keep in mind, if you like to do those cold starts, like first thing in the morning, you start the car up with 93. A cold start, it's like super loud, it's super aggressive. It's what's a word? In your face, I guess. I don't know how to explain it. It's very quickly to start up, and it's very loud instantly. With E85, it's not that way. So if you haven't ran E85, especially when it's cold out and you have E85, the first time you start the car up, it might not start. You might have to start it up again, and it's very underwhelming, even when it's a nice day out and it's not cold. You start it up, it kind of sounds like it gargles like a little bit, and it sometimes acts like it takes a second to start up. That's just how E85 burns. That's just something that you have to deal with E85. Now, as I said, if it's colder out, it's a lot harder for it to start. Right now it's warm, we're about in the 80s. Anything below a certain temp at night, it does it's a lot harder for it to start on E85. So keep that in mind also as well. Cold starts with 85 and 93 aren't exactly the same. Anyway, I hope all that helps. This isn't my first time running E85. This is my first time in a Mustang with E85. So I ran it before, and it's all the same thing. So if anybody has any questions, comments, please drop a comment and let me know what you guys think in the comments section. But on that note, I hope this helps. If you guys are watching and you're not subscribed, please do me a favor, drop a comment. Hit the subscribe if you haven't already. Click the link in the description. I have Trigger Society shirts available. We print them ourselves. We don't outsource them. So the best way they can support myself and the channel, click on the link and pick yourself up a Trigger Society shirt. But on that note, I'm going to close this out. You guys have a good one, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya. Bye.